When we picture the nonprofit sector, we usually imagine spaces driven entirely by altruism and social good. It is easy to assume that because you are hiring people dedicated to a noble mission, you are automatically building a safe and respectful workplace. Organizational psychologists call this the halo effect, unique to nonprofits.
Below executives and paid staff, unpaid volunteers often exist in a legal gray area, outside traditional HR protections. Add major donors to the mix. They control the financial lifeblood, exerting heavy downward pressure with little oversight. Employees in these environments face immense psychological pressure to quietly endure hardship. Complaining about inappropriate behavior feels like a distraction from the work. Victims often stay silent because they fear their allegations might damage the charity's public reputation, and by extension, its funding. If you report a manager at a software company, you might worry about your job. If you report a beloved founder at a charity, you worry you might accidentally destroy a food bank or an animal shelter. The nonprofit structure itself weaponizes good intentions. This makes formal, legally binding safeguards even more necessary here than in a standard for-profit business. State and federal harassment laws do not grant exemptions for tax-exempt status. Good intentions do not grant you a legal pass. Look at the regulatory map. New York State has implemented an aggressive legal threshold, requiring annual interactive training for organizations with just a single employee. California enforces a similarly strict mandate, requiring mandatory training for any organization with 5 or more employees. If you employ a remote, multi-state workforce, the risk compounds. A single remote worker in one of these states instantly triggers their strict jurisdictional mandates. Tracking these varying state rules, from training frequency to specific content requirements, places a heavy administrative burden on nonprofit HR teams. Managing a remote workforce in multiple states links your organization directly to a complex web of legal liabilities. A single harassment allegation instantly threatens an organization's primary funding sources. Major grantors like the NIH, the Ford Foundation, and the Gates Foundation now strictly demand documented proof of institutional compliance and clear reporting procedures before they will cut a check. This chart illustrates the financial reality for employment practices liability insurance, or EPLI. Compare the costs. If your training is undocumented or missing following an incident, your premiums will skyrocket. The board of directors carries a legal fiduciary responsibility known as the duty of care. Ignoring state training mandates directly breaches this duty. Neglecting these mandates diverts the capital intended for your cause toward legal settlements and administrative penalties. Effective sexual harassment prevention training serves as a strategic organizational defense. Formal training successfully pierces the halo effect by establishing objective, undeniable boundaries for everyone involved. Interactive training standardizes what acceptable behavior looks like across the entire complex hierarchy, aligning paid staff with major donors and unpaid volunteers on the exact same page. Actively protecting the people doing the work is the only sustainable way to protect the public trust and ultimately the mission itself. Handing out a PDF handbook or playing a generic video in the break room fails to meet the strict legal standards in highly regulated states like New York and California. To be compliant, the training must hit 3 specific marks. It must be highly interactive, it must teach bystander intervention, and it must clearly outline your organization's internal reporting mechanisms. So protect your people and your mission. Sign up for the free New York State-approved sexual harassment prevention training course at Hibox for nonprofits via the link in the description.